A guitar is more than an instrument. It's the doorway to a whole new community. Meanwhile, adults are coming out of the basement and rejoining the rock and roll world thanks to the League of Rock.
Rock and roll really does belong to grown-ups who have spent too much time doing things that they have to do or think that they have to do.
Meanwhile, the League of Rock tries to give everyday people a shot at being part of the rock and roll community.
Men and women who put all their creativity into music up until a certain point, and then either had a child or wanted to get a job or just had a different set of values. And so they're now coming back to music, and they're sort of following that passion in their lives.
Every night, in cities across the country, hundreds of everyday people rock out in their basements, alone. But in Toronto, Ontario, the League of Rock is taking middle-aged musicians out of the basement and into the limelight.
The League of Rock is very much like a pickup league for baseball, only we don't slug baseballs. We rock in bands, and it's for adults.
Terry Moschenberg and Topher Stott are the visionaries behind the league.
It gives them a chance to get out of the basement, meet others who play or sing, from 0 to Mach 1 in 10 weeks flat.
Men and women who put all their creativity into music up until a certain point, and then either had a child or wanted to get a job or just had a different set of values. And so they're now coming back to music, and they're sort of following that passion in their lives.
The League empowers adults to take back rock and roll and let their freak flag fly.
Once you become an adult, you have stories behind you. So we think that rock and roll belongs to the teenagers, and quite the opposite. Rock and roll really does belong to grown-ups who have spent too much time doing things that they have to do or think that they have to do.
Tonight, this room full of strangers are coming from very different places. This is draft night, where each musician will be carefully evaluated and assigned to a band.
I just stopped playing for a long time. Marriage, kids, mortgage, you just stop doing the things that you used to love.
I've always been around music all my life, but I've always been around like a lot of partying and stuff too, so I pretty much got to a point where I had to stop all of that. And when I stopped that, I was 40 years old, and then I'm going to try and rent a guitar because I didn't even own one, and I started to I grasped onto it a lot easier, like I had more patience for it, and then all of a sudden it just went from there.
I've been doing a solo project for many years, and if you're going to break into the scene, you got to start somewhere.
Each odd duckling is given a safe haven tonight. They're carefully selected and assembled into groups by Terry and Topher.
I have been painting over this for weeks and weeks and weeks. We literally just call names, and everyone finds out what bands they're in, and the next thing you know, you can see, the tension just, it dissipates. I would like to ask Mr. Don Sawchuk to come up, please. Glenn Chilton to come on up. Come on up, guys.
These people are taking a chance, so we want to be really supportive of them taking that chance. So the draft event is all about people getting over their fears.
A week later, over pizza and beers, they pick up their instruments for the first time as a group and hash out what songs they're going to pour their hearts and souls into.
Drop my pick. Drop my guitar pick.
They'll know really quickly what's going to be fun to play or not. Like, the music will tell you what's going to work, and the music will tell you really quickly what's not going to work.
By week 5, these basement jammers are on stage and being critiqued by professional musicians like Jeff Jones and Wild T.
18 months since a man said you don't work here no more.
They become bands once they play live. So I think what they get that they don't get in their basement is a chance to actually just get out there and have some blood, sweat, and tears and make some music in a real live setting, which this is pretty much the only place you can do that.
The bands are what we call half-baked or half-cooked, right? They've had 5 weeks to pick 3 songs and go. And so they're about to turn the corner.
Five more weeks and a professional recording session later, it's time to see the results of this 10-week evolution. The final concert is about to begin.
Everyone is really vested, and they want you to do well. So it's a generous room, right? It's what you would want it to be. The bands, come on and, they knock it out of the park.
They're so happy, and because they've gotten something off their chest, right? And they're able to express something. It's amazing how many husbands and wives come to me in week 10 and they go, they're so much happier now that they've done League of Rock. So it's really good. People get to do what they've always wanted to do, which is play music in a band.
Life may have had some detours for these guys and girls, but tonight, it's all about the music.
Instead of waiting for that local gig, playing down the street, now you get to come to the big city and play with other musicians, and you forget about work.
Music brings me to my happy place. I like challenges, even though sometimes it scares me a little bit, but it's like a healthy fear anyways. And I don't know, it just kind of fills me up. It's good, like I get into a room and the door closes and it's all rock and roll.
This gets you outside of what you normally do, and it's exciting. I mean, you do struggle. By week 10, it's just, I wouldn't say it's a relief, it's just, oh yeah, it's an experience you just can't put money on.
Terry knows that the League of Rock delivers more than just a concert. It's an opportunity to express something they lost along the way.
For a lot of people, this really matters. It's their creative outlet, right? And a creative outlet is passion. And when you give someone that kind of canvas to do whatever they want, that feels good. It's a pretty deep and emotional experience if you let it be. And so it's amazing to watch. It's amazing to be a part of it.